So I honestly don't. Wait. I gotta get your. I'm gonna need your ball. Testing. Is that better? Testing. I honestly don't know how it's 2023. My head's still 1990s. I realize it's like 30 years ago now, so that's been a while. But, in any case, this is the last rehearsal of 2022. I don't know if that should be applauded or not, but as they're dealing with volume, I saw this funny thing online where somebody said they were noting how nobody had mentioned 2023 is going to be my year, I'm going to rock it. And they said, well, that means we're all scared of what's going to happen in the future. So, I feel that. Anyways, our goal today is just to run through all the pieces and get ready because we have basically 1 week off. And then we're back on January 2nd for catch-up before we have immediately into orchestra rehearsals and then our concert with public, with orchestra and everything. And so what we want to do is, again, just run through everything, see how much we can sort of set in our mind and our voices for the first time running through things. So we're going to start with warm-up and then run through the Schubert first and then Mozart. So everybody sitting up. The concert order is actually orchestral work first, then Schubert, then Mozart. So we're going to get used to that. So I was just in Nashville, which is much colder than here, so I feel actually really warm. But I know it's relatively cold here. So let's warm up the body first. Get it nice and limber, loose, relaxed. Start being aware as you move around of your body because, again, you need to have awareness of the muscle groups, of your posture, of all the things that that are a part of the vocal production and the setup for our voice. So let's move our shoulders around and remember that shoulders are especially important because they can hinder unnecessarily your rib cage. And then get your posture up, think about your sternum, and keeping it raised and elevated. And let's take a nice deep breath in. Think about where you expand and where you don't, and then back out. Always in through your nose, because it warms up the air. In through your nose. And then out. This time when you breathe in through your nose, think about the soft palate being raised, and you get a nice, pleasant smell. And then out. At the same time you're doing that, you want to think about the muscle groups that are engaged in inhalation and exhalation, but how your posture really stays the same. So that it's not like an inflation of your posture in your body, but it really is just the soft areas, your viscera, your floating ribs, the back, your spine straightens out a little bit. So let's take a nice deep breath in again through your nose. And then out. And then we're going to engage a little bit more, activate our vocal apparatus, activate our voice a little bit. And so we're going to breathe in with intention of expansion, and then long exhalation on shh. Okay, here we go. And shh. And think about, as you exhale, how your muscle groups are working together, how they interact with each other, they connect. Yeah, that's great. Another breath in and out. Shh. And jump starter, keep it going. Nice and even, consistent, continual, even airflow all the way through. That's great. Let's do a sigh on ooh with the purpose of gently phonating along the range, but also stretching as we do instinctually when we yawn, that soft palate and your jaw dropping down. And part of this exercise should be really realizing how easy it is to stretch up. So instead of just trying to reach at it, you should just be gently, oh, and let's do one more time. And, oh, exactly. That's great. And then let's do some diaphragmatic kicks. Let's do our percussion exercise. Right? 2 and. That was really great. Let's do it one more time. Right? 2 and. Excellent. Let's do D major. Ni vu ni vu ni vu ni vu ni. Slightly nasal and forward. Very buzzy. Ready? And. Good. Make sure it's not ni vu, but keep your lips elongated so you have a nice warm tone even on the E vowel, which can be spread very often. Ready? And that's so much better. That's so much better. Let's take a breath in that has that same sense of space, cathedral-like space, like in here, like very, very tall space, so that we have a good initiation of the pitch. Ready? And nice. Good. Now maintain that same sort of energy. Ni vu, ni vu, ni vu, ni vu, ni, as you exhale. And it's not a deflation of our energy. Ni vu, ni vu, ni vu, ni vu. Okay? And ni vu, engage. Ni vu, but don't let the tempo change. Just keep it nice and even. Excellent. That's it. Really. That's it. That's really great. And remember, your breath is very tall breath. That's it. Really nice. So it tumbles over the top. Yeah. So it's not sort of like poking at it, but it really falls over. Nice breath that's both deep and tall. And that's it. That's excellent. Good. Keep it going. Really release the sound when you get to the top. And then release. Yeah. Good. Let's do a sigh. Ooh. Oh, the sigh has already changed the quality and character already. So let's do whatever D major again. Mi me ma mo mu. Mi me ma. I want you to really think about the consonant and really getting good length from the consonant before the beat, and on the beat the vowel occurs. Mi me ma mo mu and Mi me ma mo. Wow, that's really great. That's fantastic. Mi me ma mo mu. Now do sti, st. No, that's absolutely fantastic, especially from the tenors. But you're sti, ste, sta. You hear all of that. Let's go shi, she, sha. Ready? Whatever. Sure, that's right. And shi, she, sha, shu. Oh, that's interesting. Excellent consonants. The vowels got a little funny. Shi, she, sha, shu. Now show, sho, shu. So you don't sing the word S-H-O-W, right? Show, but just sho, shu, okay? Shi, she, sha, shu, ready? 2 and Oh, yeah, we got a little nostalgic and it became really flat. Ready? And one more of those, up and up. Not bad. Shi, she, sha, shu. And and up. Yeah, but it needs to be much more frivolous. It needs to be very much like joyous, right? And up. That's excellent. Really throw it. Very light. Okay, let's sit down. Let's do this Schubert. Now, it'd be really fun if we didn't give an initial pitch for these pitches. And if you got your pitch from the A that we give for tuning. So, Paul, can you play just an A? Do you think you can sing your first chord based off an A? So obviously sopranos, you go up a whole step. Altos and basses go down a whole step. Tenors are the hardest. You go up a fourth. But sing your first chord. Ready? And here's the A again. And then here's the first, sing the first chord, and. Not bad. Now remember, it's not key, but it's key, right? And up. Yeah, so there's that sort of feeling of spread of the vowel versus the lips elongated. And when you have a Kyrie, it's not a Kyrie, but a Kyrie. Your lips are more elongated because they're in the oo shape. So you need to make sure that the Kyrie is not Kyrie. You hear how sort of spread that is? You want to make sure that that last bit, that oo vowel, with the E inside, with your tongue, is very clear. Let's try that, singing that first chord again. Here's the A again. And then you're going to sing your G major chord, and up. Yeah, there's a warmth that comes from that. And so what you're going for is to find that chord, but also to sing the vowel in a way that is very supple, gentle, as we've talked about, very sweet, and very tender. So let's start from the beginning. Here's A again. And this time Paul's going to play with us, and we're going to sing from the beginning, right? Yeah, not bad. I think you need to exaggerate a little bit more the phrasings and the musicality. Michael Tilson Thomas always used to talk about the type of phrasings that the audience was aware of and the ones that they weren't aware of. And right now, everything's too subtle. You're not like singing it. It's like you're listening to it instead of you were creating the music, right? You're the ones that are actually making the music. Okay, let's start from the very beginning of the QDA. Now say ee-oo, ee-oo. E-oo, e-oo. Now keep the same vowel in your mouth, but change your lips. E-oo, e-oo. E-oo. So QDA, right? It's not ki, it's not ku. QDA, right? So we need to get the same vowel. Sopranos also, you have the third of the chord, so it needs to be a little higher. Give it a G major chord again. Let's sing the first chord. Ready? Just sing the first chord. Yeah, so that's not quite in tune. That needs to be higher in sopranos, right? And not quite. That doesn't change anything. See if you can change it, right? Even if you overshoot, doesn't make a difference. But you can't sing the same thing expecting a different result, right? And yeah, now some of you are a little over, but the vast majority of you were right on it. And so that's so much better than all of you being flat, right? So you have to put a little arrow and say, you know what, I have to take that step of confidence in myself and the pitch to make sure that even if we're not all exactly singing the right note, like exactly the right pitch, we are definitely not going to be flat. Okay, let's try it. Sing the first pitch again. Everybody cannot be flat, right? And not bad. Let me just hear the tenors and basses, right? And yeah, so tenors are a little flat. Ready? And that's better. Altos join in. Ready? 1 and oh, that's a good fifth. So that we have octaves between the altos and basses, and then the fifth from the tenors. Sopranos join in, all 4 voice parts singing, and almost. You went there, and then you're like, oh, I think that's a little too much, and then you went back down. See, it's still flat, okay? The default is always to be flat because it's the third of the chord. It's not because we're deficient. It's because of the function of the note that you have to think higher. If you think just normal, it's going to be flat. And as a result, it's flat. So you just have to think, oh, we're at the third of the chord. I have to actively sing higher than I think I should be doing because it's the third of the chord. Otherwise, it's just going to be flat. Okay? Let's do everybody. And yeah, almost. It was 75% there. I swear it was not even enough. Okay? 1 and So that was like 98% there. Now, think mentally. Take a measurement in yourself for mentally. How far you decided to go higher, right? And if that's pretty large and it still wasn't enough, you know that it needs to be much, much higher than that. Okay? If you are all a quarter step higher, then I would say, oh, that's too much. It's not even remotely close to that. Again, we're like 75% there, which is not the right pitch. If we were at 100%, it would be at the right pitch. Let's try one more time. Ready? 1, 2, and. Yeah, that's probably the best it's been. And if you think mentally, it really feels like you had to make a huge leap to sing higher than what you think the pitch should be. So that's what you have to do at the beginning, right? Let's try it from there. Let's just do the G major chord again. Right? Here we go. Now, you have to see the tempo from the very beginning. We got behind Paul, and as a result, it sounds like I mentioned, you're listening to music instead of singing it, because it was just a reaction instead of creating the colors and the phrasing and the beautiful tones of yourself. All right? Let's try it together. Make music to it. 1. Yeah, good. Now, the phrase is this. It's an entire day. It's a sunrise, it's a sunset. So see if you can build the phrase, right? Does it good? I heard a lot of people exaggerating the phrase, which is not exaggeration, it's what it should be, right? Yeah, so that's excellent. Why did you suddenly die on the vine there? Right? Don't get slower, don't lose your support, right? Yeah, and all of a sudden Paul doesn't have to feel like he's either dragging you along or adjusting for you. That just kind of worked, right? That's beautiful. Now, that takes activation, that takes energy, but that's the fun part. That's what we're here to do, is to create beautiful phrases, create beautiful music, and bring out what's in the music naturally, okay? I still don't feel like, maybe it's the masks, but I still don't feel like everybody's saying the first syllable correctly. Right? That's right. Now, tenors, remember, if you're flat, then it doesn't help the sopranos because you guys can be in tune together, but then you're not in tune with the tenors and basses. Altos and basses. So see if we can get that first chord to really just ring with purity and simplicity. Right? Here's G major again. Now, in the orchestral world, the fifths need to be tuned high. All right, so you have to think about that too. Right? Go on. Yeah. Ta ti ta ti ta ti. Very simple but potent. And build and you have to have rhythm in your life. You have to have rhythm in your life. You have rhythm when you walk. You have rhythm when your heart beats. You have to have rhythm in your life. Now, bar 20. Right? That is a bigger. It's mezzo forte. It gets larger. It needs to have a different shape than the section that came beforehand. So we start from bars 14, 15, 16, bar 16. Okay? One and up. Yeah. I still. You have to make sure that we don't stop for some reason, right? One and. Yeah, see, it has motion, it has movement, it has life. Now try that without me going. Right? And one and up. Excellent. Now build. Surprise. Surprise chord. Yeah, that's excellent. That was so fantastic. You said Kyrie instead of Kyrie, but it was excellent. Okay. Now that's a completely different shape. That's a completely different phrasing. It's not placid, right? Tender doesn't mean you just kind of like sit back and just, it's like you're just looking at a sky, which is beautiful. You can. There's this cool podcast, and I don't remember which one, but they're talking about the decibel levels for sirens. Because sirens have to be piercing above the generic hubbub of what is in our natural day. And they realize that the siren levels have been increasing every single decade because in general the sound and noise around us is higher. So the sirens likewise need to be exponentially higher to cut through them. And so years ago it used to be like 105 decibels. And now it's like 130 decibels, which is actually like ear piercing. But in any case, sorry. Okay, so you create this world. Remember that nobody knows what this music is. And you are the highlight of this work. This is a mass that's a choral mass. You create the sounds. You should be the ones that are thinking about that you inspire the orchestra to match your tone and phrasing. Can we start again from the beginning? Okay? Take ownership over the phrase. Right? How is this different? Yeah. Now that's excellent. Now the first dynamic that you have is piano, right? And what you just sang there is the tone that we want. It has engagement, it has vibrancy, and it is not a forte, it is not a marcato. So even though we may be feeling like we're singing out more, that's the sort of affect that we want. Remember that we talk about this often, there's a empirical amount, and there's sort of the emotional effect of what actually happens. So we have to sing whatever volume is appropriate for the space, appropriate for our ensemble, etc. But as long as the affect is of tenderness, of sweetness, of a sort of lyrical quality to it, it doesn't make a difference how actually loud we're singing. And what you just did there is a beautiful phrase that had life to it. And that's the only thing that we care about, is that we want to engage the audience. We want to engage the musicians. We want to create a phrase of all of us together, okay? So that's what we're looking for from the very beginning. That's why I'm spending so much time on the Kyrie, because it's just these first few bars. But that's what starts the piece. If we get it here, then everything else starts to come to life too. Okay? Let's sing through the Kyrie this time. Kyrie. Kyrie. Something different. there's something a little bit more energetic. Christ, the word is not iste. Iste is not a word. Christe. Right? Right? Let's do, can we do bar 43? I don't care if you're tentative or if you're entrance. At least pronounce the word correctly. Right? And Christe. 1, 2. Basses. And. Yeah. And that's really flat. That's a hard part of your voice. Anywhere between E to G is where we call the passaggio. And so the passageway flipping between head voice and chest voice needs to be very careful. So you need to write in that you want to do this in head voice. Instead of reaching up with your chest rise. Christ, right? It's a completely different sound. Okay? Think about more head voice. Same thing, bar 43. 1, 2, and. Basses. And. Excellent. And no. And. You have to have some sense of tempo here. Now, sopranos, bar 50, the D sharp is not sharp enough. You need to make the D sharp very, very different than the next time you sing it, which is a D natural. Okay? It's really been flat often. Let's do bar 43, right? Now, the first E was fantastic. The next G is in that same range. Even though you think, oh, that's much higher, I can go for it. You need to have the same sort of feeling that you're going in pure head voice, okay? Bar 43, and excellent. Here we go again. Almost. That was so good. The G was phenomenal. The G was in tune, it had fullness, it didn't feel forced. The D sharp was about halfway there. It was so much better. So much better. Okay? Let's do it one more time. That was much better. Bar 43. 1, 2. Now count. 1, 2. And no. Excellent. Perfect. Really great. Better. And please stay. Yeah. Can we, why don't we do this? Can we do for bar 56, no choral breath? It sounds like you just can't breathe. It sounds a little too, like you have the consumption. Okay, let's do sopranos. That was so much better. Like really getting it. The key, of course, is just being aware of it first, so that you prepare yourself mentally for it. That's literally half the battle. After that, it gets easier. But you just have to be aware, oh yeah, that D sharp is really hard. The orchestra, when they see something like that, they automatically tune in not only to D sharp, but slightly sharper because it's a leading tone. And so we have to really make sure that we're not too far away from where they are. Okay? That's excellent though, really excellent. The E for Kriste, Kri, and the G are phenomenal, they're right on. Okay? Let's see one more time, 43. 43. Right, 1, 2, and. Beautiful. Now count. 1, 2. Breathe. And that's it. That's much better. And sustain and breathe. And tenors and altos. Ta, ti, ta. Yeah, really nice. Tenors and altos, I think we should up the dynamic a little bit. It should really feel like a codetta saying, no, we are going to make this longer, we're going to make it beautiful, we're going to add a little bit more at the end. And it should come out like it's a little bit more, not forceful, but a little bit more insistent. It should be a little bit more insistent, okay? So can you up the dynamic for your entrances on bar 80, bar 90? That's really, really nice. Soprano sounds probably the best D sharp you've ever done. It was really fantastic. If you think about that space like we do for the marble, it's like we call the yawning sound, right? And then think of the D sharp as being, oh yeah, that's one note that I can think of more towards the E than D natural or whatnot. That makes a big, big difference. Okay? Let's move on for now. Now, remember, Gloria, completely different feeling. Where one has tenderness, poignancy, this one is joyous and up and energized. key for this one is you need to breathe in rhythm right before you sing. You cannot sing without breathing, and it's going to not be helpful if you don't breathe in time. And so you want to make sure that you clearly are prepared to take a breath before you go. And Gloria, instead of Gloria, it has no rhythm. You want to get your rhythm set in your mind beforehand, and then before you sing with your breath. So starting again from the very, very beginning, right? I don't hear consonants. Let's try it, right? 2 and down. Tut, 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 tut. Breathe! Yeah. Now, you don't understand up here how much of a difference that makes. All of a sudden, everything was on time. It wasn't sort of loosey-goosey. It wasn't sort of, I don't know what's going on right now. And it literally all has to do with the breath. Let's try it again. And done. Yeah. That's fantastic. That's fantastic, right? So make sure you, sometimes people write a little X with a quarter note line on it. You need to, or just write, breathe and underline it 5 times, right? The key for this one is rhythmic integrity. Well, key for everything is rhythmic integrity. But for this one, if we don't have it, then everything falls apart. Now, remember, it's not just Gloria, it's Gloria in excelsis Deo, right? Gloria in excelsis Deo. So make it exciting. Make it not just note by note, bar by bar, but tell us the story of the words as we go on. Beginning? God in the highest, and us too, peace on earth, you know, for all of us too. So, et in terra pax hominibus bonevo. Okay? It needs to have, I think you need to be a little bit more astounded by the text and the music. It's a little too casual. It's like, yeah, everybody's going to be saved. You know, even John over here is going to be saved too. It's like, no, peace on earth. That's especially what we need right now, right? And so it needs to have a little bit more just like, again, I think you should tell the story a little bit more. You should create in your mind what type of colors and energy you want for the piece. And tell it to people like it's the first time they've ever heard a mass ever, right? Or these texts. And guess what? And what? Excellent. And breathe. Excellent. And breathe. Here we go again. Breathe. That was great. Now, this next part has the same energy, but it's just quiet. Ready? And Miserere nobis. And miserere and miserere and ta 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 and done. And done. Now that's excellent. Now when I dictate very strongly and, right? That's the sort of feeling that you need for the breath. Miserere, not miserere, because then it gets behind. So you need to have sort of an energized breath to go. Miserere nobis. The same sort of warm-up breath we say quick inhalation in and then long exhalation. Miserere. Can we do it one more time for bar 40? Fitzig. And yeah, it's already behind a limit. Yeah. I think you should think of this row we. Miserere nobis. Go to nobis, right? To and better. And breathe in time. Change. Good. Here we go. Get ready to breathe. Yeah, not bad. You're missing a part of the fun. Bar 64. If you're doing German Latin, you get to say Kvoniam. And I don't hear that at all. It doesn't sound like you're having fun doing it at all. And you should all be having fun, because that's fun. Kvoniam tu zolu sanctus, right? Kvoniam. You have a lot of energy there. Bar 62. Let's hear kva, right? And done. Excellent KV. I feel like you got thrown by the last word. Kvoniam tu zolus. You make sure the rhythm. Don't get surprised by anything. This text is different than what you sang before. And you can tell that some people aren't used to the new rhythms. And that shouldn't be the case, because you don't want the audience to be aware that this is shakier at the end of the movement than what it was at the beginning, right? So make sure you're aware of what the rhythms are and how they're different. And done. 1, 2. Ta 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 ta. Off. remember that the texture changes, right, on bar 73. Quoniam tu solus Dominus, tu solus sanctus. It goes all the way to the end of the bar. And it's not apparent that people realize that. I hear people cutting off an S before that. I hear people diminuendoing before that. There shouldn't be any feeling of weakness there. It should be very confident and sustained instead of sort of dying out. Okay? Now, there's, besides bar 64, Kvoniam tu solus sanctus, right? There's a lot of kvo. So it shouldn't just be the first one. You have at least 4 of them. Let's try one time. Kva and bar 73. Dominus. Okay? See if we can get those. It's about the shapes. Right now we're not quite sure of our shapes. Tu, ta, ta. Second one. That's literally the next one. And that didn't sound like anything at all. Now remember, you have this written in your part. In bar 67, there's a quarter note, then quarter rest. We changed that note from a half note so that everybody can breathe and get the kva, right? So you should have it in your music so we don't have to rehearse this each time. Okay? This is the whole point. We can't rehearse everything all over again all the time. Bar 62, one more time. Okay? 1, 2, and done. I'm not getting the kva. We're not getting the consonant. You can go sanctus kva. You have plenty of time, right? You have plenty of time. We're not getting it, right? 1, 2, and done. Ta 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 ta. I feel like it comes across like you don't know it. It honestly comes across like you're sort of sight reading it. You're like, it passes by and you're like, oh yeah, we were supposed to do that. It doesn't come across like it's secure. And we've now gone through it like 8 times in a row. I feel like it should settle in a little bit more. And the markings that we say in rehearsal are specifically so that we don't have to repeat ourselves a bunch of times. So there's not that many things about this music. The key that I want you to remember for this movement especially, but all movements, is that you need to breathe in time. Because if you don't breathe in time, then it doesn't have the possibility of getting to be on time. And I haven't even talked about the rhythms, which are kind of shaky, but you have Paul here that's playing literally 16th notes in time. So when you have ta, 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 you can't be loose about it. Ta, 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 it's like ta, 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 because he has more notes than you do. He has to, we have to line up with him and the 30 people, 50 people in the orchestra. Okay? Now, my tendency is to go through the entire movement again. It's Gloria! why am I forgetting the Christmas Carol? That's in D major. That's a scale down. That's like this. Yeah, what is that?
Joy to the world. Angels. Joy to the world. No?
Joy to the world, the Lord has... Now, you don't want to sing that one like, joy to the world, the Lord. That has no rhythm, right? That sounds weird. Joy to the world, the Lord has come. So you can't sing this one as, Gloria in, Gloria in. You have to have the same energy as joy to the world when you're slightly tipsy. Okay. All right. 2 and and That's great. I have to say the most effective technique, rehearsal technique so far, has been to tell you to sing it slightly tipsy. So drink your eggnog. I learned for the first time that eggnog used to be aged for like months because the alcohol used to preserve it, but okay. Maybe not that level of tipsy, but okay, anyways, that was great. But again, it all has to do with just freedom of energy. It's the freedom to just say, no, we're going to have fun doing this because this is just music that's fun to sing. The phrases, we can make these beautiful phrases. For the Gloria, we're going to sing it like we've been singing this every single year at the holiday times, like Deck the Halls or what was it, Joy to the World or something like that. And you're just going to sing it with gusto. And that's what the fun is. That's what we're here to do, right? We're here to just like make music, have fun with it. You don't want to treat it too reverently, right? Remember, he was 18 when he wrote this. He was just like having fun. It was great, you know? Okay. Credo. Now, remember, this is about text and texture, right? So, we don't have a chance to get the notes, so this is the last chords that you get, the last three chords. Tum, tum, tum. Makes me laugh every single time. It's like he was like, I'll just get to that later. I'll compose something for that later. It's just like, you didn't do anything. Okay, good. So remember at the very end that it's not amen, amen. You have to sing with a vowel and not just a consonant, okay? Let's go back to the very beginning. That's excellent. I hear a lot of good work on the text. Credo in unum Deum. We need to get a little bit of the first movement into it in terms of the phrases. I hear Credo in unum Deum, Patrem omnipotentem. And so you Credo in unum Deum, Patrem omnipotentem, Factorem celi et terrae. You need to have a little bit more phrasing into it, even though there is a lot of text. There are a lot of text. There is a lot of text. There is a lot of text. There is a lot of text. There is. There is a. Okay. Credo in unum, right? Yeah, you can give it the major part. Right? Now, remember, I'm going to give you one. Credo, okay? So you go. And. Yeah, good. Excellent. So that was really, really great. What I got was Credo in unum Deum. And I think you should use unum Deum. So you have to use that last note of the second bar to get to Deum. All right? One more time. Super fantastic R. That was great. Credo. Right? To end. That's it. Breathe. In. In. Surprise. Yeah. Not only everything seen, but he made everything that is unseen too, and we don't even know what those are because those are scary things like ghosts. So you need to make sure that, like, when you have that surprise there, bar 16, remember that we decided we weren't going to take a breath afterwards because it sounds so weird. Visibilium omnium et and invisibilium as well, okay? That was really great. Let's do that again. You have so much great energy now, like really, really great. I want to figure out how, you should figure out for yourself how you're approaching this text right now because it's working really great, okay? So is it that you're more, it's more consonants, or you're thinking more about the phrasing? See if you can imprint on your brain what we're doing now because it's sounding great. Let's do G major quarter again. Beginning, 2, and down. In. In. Surprise! Sustain! Tenor. And breathe. 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 Yeah, good. To me, this feels like it gets a little bit slower for some reason, and it's antithesis of what the text should be. It's not Deum de Deum, Deum de Deo, Lumen de Lumine, Deum verum de Deo verum. You know, God from God, light from light, true God from true God, right? Let's do bar 30, 1, 2, 3. Deum de Deo. Wow, cool chord there. Diminished seventh chord, right? 1, 2, and down. The first two are great. And then I think the third phrase, which is a longer phrase, you got confused with how long we're going. Deum de Deo, lumen de lumine, Deum verum de Deo verum. You see, that's a longer 4-bar phrase. 2-bar phrase, 2-bar phrase, 4-bar phrase. So see if you can get that super long phrase, the third phrase, to be longer shape. One more time, same place, or whatever that is. Deum de Deo, 2 and down. Long phrase. Excellent. And beautiful. Almost. Yeah. That's so beautiful. The tone is really great. It's the slightest bit behind. Remember that we talked about this is almost like a mystical, magical part. Hear what Paul is playing in bar 49, if you want to play with 49, and right? The orchestral texture changes because we're getting to the magical part of what the credo is about, right? And so we want to make sure that we have, as I said before, a feeling of one rather than two. Two would be, qui propter nos homines nos ram salutem decendit celis. You want to get, qui propter nos homines nos ram salutem decendit da. So it has less but ta, but ti, ta, ti. And so it's a feeling of one beat to the bar instead of ta, like we did at the beginning, okay? So can we get into that? So do you mind if we start tenors and basses, but everybody at bar 41, 41. Okay? Now remember, this is a do. Ta, 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 but then we'll change. Ta, da, da, ba, ba, ba. Okay? Ready? 1, 2, and down. Here we go, ready? And breathe in time. In. Yeah, that was so good. It just needs to make sure that it starts in time. That was so good. It was like, omnias factus sunt, qui propter ta, ta, da, bam, bam, ba, da, da. You just need to make sure that your breath is in time and that we get on propter no omnias a little sooner. Okay, one more time, same place. 41. Ready, 2, and down. Now get ready. Breathe. And here we go. So good. It was correct in terms of the tempo and getting together. It had the really great, wonderful change in texture and feeling instead of every single two beats to a bar to one beat to a bar. That was really good. I want to do that again. And then remember that when we talk about the Virgin Mary, the miracle of the Virgin Mary, it starts to get a little bit more intense as we say, this is towards a dramatic section of the story. So let's start again from 41, okay? And remember, 41, ta, 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 change to N. Ta, ti, pa, da, ti, It's a really fun change, right? Bar 41. 2 and up. Excellent. Really, really great. And now in time, a change. And so beautiful. Tenors and basses. And here change. Change and sustain. Oh, beats by who? And passus sepultus. Excellent. Now that was really great. Remember, this is the super sustained part. If you have any breath in here, don't do it at the normal places. Otherwise, it kind of loses its intensity and gripping nature. It's not gripping in a hurt your voice type of nature, but it is sort of a, you don't want to lose a dramatic tension there, right? And remember, Born of the Virgin Mary is great, but it's the end of the line, bar 67, bar 68, 69. It homo factus est, and became man, right? It's that whole thing about born of the Virgin Mary, but became man. So that's the whole point of that line. If that last part is missing, then it kind of, it feels like we lost the thread. That part, qui propter homines nodo, is probably one of my favorite parts of this entire piece. It is so gorgeous. I would, not only to do it again, but I want to see if we can make the transition from that to the crucifixus section. One more time, 41. One more time, 41. This is the repetition is to get it ingrained in our system, how we change from this 2 beats to this sort of angelic sort of sweep, and then we start getting to the gripping, mystical part of the story. Let's do 41. 2 and. Get ready and. Here we are, and and breathe in. Sustain. No, sustain. No breath. Now from dark into light. And breath in. Every soprano wants to do the same thing. It note changes before you want to. It happens for me too in my ear too, but da, 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 da. You have to make sure that you change sooner, because I hear people saying on that track. Okay, let's do 4 bars before that entrance. 93, I'm assuming, because 97 minus 4 is 93. 2, ta, dee, dee, dee. Ready, and. Full breath. Breath. Now remember, take a nice breath so we come in together. Very rhythmic and confident. And go. Action. Breath. 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 Excellent. Really nice. And really well done. 1 and 2. BCCO Now think about your vowel and Amen. All the time. Yeah, remember a third of the chord there. Excellent tuning there. That's really great. The pitches are really quite low. We still have a little bit of time, even though Christian's standing right there to remind me that we should go over. Okay. Let's do Zangtus. And yeah. All right. 1 and 2. Oh, song, right? Ba-da-dum. Let's do that one more time. Ta 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 ti ta 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 ba ba. It has a weirdly skipping feel to it. Ta ti ta 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 ti ta ta ti ta 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 ta. Right? 1 and yeah, no, wait. Together though, breathe. Sorry. Watch me first. I'll do it. I'll go 1. Oh, za. So what you want to do is breathe on the second beat. And that's it. Let's do the next one, which is almost exactly the same. Bar 52 and G.
Page 31.
Full transition. Right? And same thing, all right. Excellent. Let's read through the last one. Let's skip ahead and let's do bar 9 maybe, bar 9 and beautiful. And yeah, so just make sure that you know the rest. Let's do it from the beginning of your line, bar 11, right on it. Paul will give you the notes. All right, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and. Skip ahead to bar 23 and one and 2 basses and beautiful. And then last one, bar 37. And oh, so beautiful. Really great job. So in the first part, what I would characterize our rehearsal is it took maybe like 15 minutes for us to get into the groove of it, but you have to let yourself just have fun with it. Remember, this is fun. This is a great piece of music. There's a reason why this is done like all over the world many, many times. But you should just have fun trying to create. All right, trying to create the colors, create the phrases, have the energy, like you've been singing it for an entire semester, which you have. It's a really, really fantastic work. We haven't spent as much time of the Mozart, but Mozart is longer. But it should still have, it's deceptive in how much depth there is, even though it seems very simple. It's just really, really gorgeous music. It has such vibrancy and life to it. It's going to be so much fun. Okay, great. Christian, I'm sure, has some announcements, and then we'll take a break, but Christian has announcements first.
We have a couple of announcements. We're going to build up to a big finish with jam and postcards. All right, first, just some continuing perspective on why we're sitting here in a cold room. So the board stays abreast of what's going on in the COVID world that we're tired of hearing about, but we have to face. At the UCSF hospital system at the moment, about 5% of admitted patients test positive for COVID, even though they have no symptoms and don't know they have it. That's about 1 in 20 people. We're probably not that different from across the bay. And so when we have 120 of us in rehearsal or 110 on stage, there are probably 3, 4, or 5 of us who have the virus. We may not be infectious, but we have it. And that's one reason why we continue to mask, is so if a few of us bring it into the room, we don't share it with everybody. It's also why we continue to watch the ventilation in the room. Like tonight, we started with as few doors and windows open as we could and found that wasn't quite enough and opened some of them a little more. So it's not capricious. We're not trying to inconvenience you or freeze you, but we're just trying to be a little careful. So that's why we mask, and that's why we encourage as many of you as who can to self-test before you come to Hertz. Because even though there's some of us who will have COVID or any of the other 7 or 8 respiratory diseases going around a lot in the Bay Area at the moment, at least a COVID self-test will help some of us stay home who need to stay home and reduce the chances that we have an issue at all. So if you have access to tests, or you can think ahead and get some before the January week, every little bit is a help. And lastly, if you feel poorly, if you've got a sore throat, if you've got a strong sniffle, if you've got headaches, et cetera, you know the symptoms, please do pull yourself out of the lineup and stay home. All right, enough on that topic. Next topic. The red box is in the back of the room. If any of you are moved to make a gift to BCCO, if you haven't yet this year and you would like to do it before 2022 is out, BCCO is happy to have you drop something in the red box at the back of the room. We'll even count the red box on January 2 as part of this year. It's only a slight cheat. That's the first weekday after the new year. We'll just imagine you must have tucked that in or signed that check on the 31st. So, if you're so moved, we'd be very grateful. And if you're making a cash gift, please put your name on an envelope and tuck it in there so we know how many chorus members have given. That's a number we like to keep track of. Reminder about our coming rehearsals. Next Monday after Christmas, no rehearsal here. January 2, we added a rehearsal, so we will be here in this room on Monday, January 2 with Ming for a last time, all of us together before we join the orchestra. And then as you see in chorus notes, we have rehearsals on the 4th and 5th at 7 o'clock at Hertz Hall. And then concerts, we have a break on the 6th, nothing on Friday the 6th. And then concerts Saturday and Sunday at 3. I think you know about Eventbrite. If you're not on stage or you're not volunteering and you'd like to be there In the audience, if you have family or friends, please encourage them to sign up for a free ticket on Eventbrite. And it's going to be exciting. It's going to be terrific to be singing with the soloists that we have are going to be fantastic, and our wonderful orchestra. So Jan will help us share publicity about it.
Thanks, Christian. So I have 5 postcards. That's a full house. That's what we want, and it's the people who love you who are going to come. So your yoga class, your bicycle club, your book club, get them to come. This is coming home for us, to come home to Schubert and Mozart. I mean, this is why we're here, right? So bring them in. We deserve an audience. We've worked so hard to make this beautiful music. We have fabulous soloists. They're really top flight. And it'll be an incredible concert. So please pick postcards up from the back, and thank you very much.
It's almost time for part 2.
Okay, let's come back. Okay, like we mentioned last week, okay, we're back. Okay, Sanctus. Okay, Sanctus.
So
can you sing O za in excelsis? So leave out the na. O za in excelsis, right? Let's do maybe chorus 1, bar 59. O za in excelsis. Just like that. Just leave out that one note, right? Ready? 3 and 4. Yeah, but can you have a little bit more energy? Za in excelsis, right? 3 and 4. Yeah, that's good. Now, za na in excel. Everybody's singing za na in, and you're getting to the beat too early. Za na in excel. Za na in excelsis. Za na in, not za na in, za na in, right? Let's just try it. Chorus 1, right? With the pitches. 3 and 4. Yeah. That's very different than za na in, ta 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 ta, right? One more time. 3 and 4. Yeah, better, okay? Now, can we go chorus 2, pick up to bar 55, 6, 7. 57. Same thing. O za na in extra. Not za na in. O za na in. Right? Right? 3 and 4. Sorry. This is chorus. Sorry. Whoever has pick up to bar 55, 6, 7. 57. Whoever has bar 57. I realize you could be having different notes. I don't know which chorus it is, but can you sing? Whoever sings, pick up to bar 57. 3 and 4. Yeah. It sounds weird because it sounds like O za na in, ta 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 ta. You have to keep the rhythm. 3 and 4. Yeah. So za na in, not za na in, za na in, right? It's za na in. It's slower than you think. Ready? 3 and 4. Yeah. Okay. Now let's do that. Pick up to bar 57. Everybody, so sing your respective parts. But we have it over and over again. O za na in ta ta ta, not ta pa pa ta pa pa. It has no structure whatsoever. Right? 3 and 4. Tiny bit faster now. O za na in ta ta ta. Right? Ready? Same place. Ready? 3 and 4. Okay, let's go back to bar 47. That tempo, okay? All right, 47. Can you play the soprano line? Yeah, right. Yeah, just come in on the second beat though. Ready? And 1. Breath. behind the beat. I think you need to be a little bit more forward. Remember, it's supposed to be tumbling, exalting, and sort of, again, very declamatory, and it feels very behind. Can I hear the people just have quarter notes and half notes? Bar 50, let's say bar 54. Just the people that have the G, right? 2 and no. Yeah, it's late. It's late. Hosanna, O Tanaim. It has to have a little bit more accent, right? 3 and 4. Exactly the same tone. Yeah, in excelsis. It doesn't need to be short. It just needs to be a little bit more accent. One more time. Right, 2 and 3 and 4. N. Here we go. And now. Yeah. Okay. Let's do everybody. Bar 47. Same place. Okay. Bar 47. Right. Now remember, take a breath before you first sentence. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Yeah. The people with 16th notes are desperately trying to sing 16th notes, and it doesn't help if the people that have very basic half notes and quarter notes are not helping them. They're getting in the way. You're late, and it's throwing them off. Okay, that's why I keep on saying. It's behind, okay? 47, right? And 1. N. Yeah. So you have to change something. I can't cue you earlier because that throws Paul off. He thinks I'm trying to go faster, okay? But you're just behind. You have to be a little bit more aware. You're only singing half notes and quarter notes, so look up. Do something. We have to change it because it's not working right now, right? 47, 3 and 4 and 1. N. Hosanna, N. So you have to be aware that bar 54, 55, anytime whoever has whatever bars is, 47, 48, you cannot take those notes for granted. It will throw off the entire piece if those quarter notes are not in time. I can't also look like I'm throwing darts at people. Okay, I don't want to do that. Okay, bar 47, okay? Right? Just please sing in time. Ready? 3 and 4 and 1. And breath. Yeah, that's much better. You know, I can't overcompensate for stuff that you have to sing. if we're not in time, it looks ridiculous. It's not the music. If I sit here punching the music, because that's not what the music is at all. Okay, it should have just a basic tempo. I don't know what to do about Ozanain, Ozanain, ta 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 ta. It's driving me nuts. Let's do this, okay? 57, bar 57. I don't know which chorus is singing it, but can you just do one chorus at a time? So whoever to pick up into 57, okay? Right? Ozanain, Ozanain. Just say that. Ready? 1 and 2. Ozanain. Yeah, it's not Ozanain, right? You see how it sounds weird? Ozanain, Ozanain. Ready? Everybody. Ready? 1 and 2. Yeah, it's slower. There's more of a space between the quick notes than you expect. What I hear is Ozanain, Ozanain, in Chelsea, and I'm like, oh. It's like you get shocked by this weird rhythm, right? Let's do just whatever chorus it is, bar 57, right? Is that chorus 1? Yes. It's 2 in my book, so that's why I keep on asking, right? Right? 3 and 4. That's it. Yeah. The tenors are going for it. They're like, okay, Ozanain, right? And everybody else is like, I'm not sure if that's right, but the tenors are right. 3 and 4. Yeah, good. Now, can you do? Is it chorus 2? I guess that's the next one. Yeah. I'll give you 1 and 2. Okay. Bar 55, 6, 7. Bar 57, right? And 1 and 2. Yeah, sopranos. Zanain, ta, 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 right? Ready? 1 and 2. Almost. I hear echoes of it, right? 1 and 2. Yeah. Just say na'in. Ready? And that's how slow it is. Na'in. Do you hear how slow it is? It's not na'in. It's na'in, ta, na'in. It's not na'in, na'in, ta. Okay? That's what I'm trying to get at. It's just like the rhythm is not quite right. The problem is that you're singing with other orchestra members that are playing the same rhythms. So it's just going to not be right. So let's pick up to bar 57, right? We're going to get this. That's my Christmas wish, right? 3 and 4. And it's so much better. There are 3 people that are not doing it, but it's so much better, okay? Last time, right? All right, 3 and 4. Yeah, not bad. It's much better, much better. Let's go backwards or forward. Okay, beginning of the Ozana. It's not Ozana, it's Ozana. So make sure you go Ozana, Ozana, Hinechassis, right? Okay, basis? Very, very beginning. All right, 3 and 4. Yeah. Oh, no diphthong. Oh, not Ozana, Ozana. Right? 3 and 4. Nice. Tenors. Nice. Now the second entrance. Altos, go. Good. So tenors. ba, 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 ba. That's a little bit behind. Maybe see if you just be a little bit more on the head of the beat, okay? Let's do it one more time. This is great though. This is much better. Right? 3 and basses. 3 and 4. Nice. N. That's it. Ta, ta, altos, go. Sopranos. N. Just not as much as the second time. Right? What was I going to say? Sopranos, let me just hear you. Your first entrance, really, at bar 25. Okay, all right. 1 and 2 and 3. Good. So, it's very clean and clear. It's just a little bit late. I think you just need to feel like you're not waiting to hear any sound, that you are driving him, rather than you hearing the note then singing. Okay? Okay? It's great, but it's just slightly behind, right? 1 and 2 and 3. Yeah, no, that's it. That's much better in terms of timing, okay? Now, what I hear is a little bit, sometimes we pull back and sometimes we get louder and whatnot. It would be better if most of it was consistent. If you wanted to take a breath, just take a breath but come back in strong. Don't sort of like try to last as long as you can before you take a breath, okay? Just take a breath if you need to and everybody else will cover for you, okay? That's what the beauty of the choral breath is, okay? That's great. Basses are really great. When you have your melody, I think in the middle of the texture, especially, what is the big one? Where is it? Bar 44. Can you make that a little bit stronger? That's sort of like the end of the piece. And then after that is a coda. And so you get the last word before we have this thing that we call the end. So we want to make sure that that is very cleanly heard. Pick up to bar 44 if that's the same bar numbers as I have, okay? And then sopranos, For each of those entrances, it's a tiny bit behind, but we just fixed that. So just make sure that you're feeling like you're on top of the beat for each of those, okay? Altos, you're doing a really great job for bar 31 and 32. It's just a really low part with everybody else singing on top of that. So whatever you can do to make that one come out a little bit more. I can hear it. I hear people singing the right notes and everything. It's for voicing, it's a little bit hard. Okay, let's do this entire thing standing up. Last few things. Actually, let's start with the whole Sanctus. So you get the transition. Now, don't get confused. Remember, this is Sanctus, where the other one is Sanctus. And this is in excelsis, not in excelsis, right? In eggshells. Eggshells. Right? Sanctus. And. Oh, wait. But I need to hear everybody go. Sa. Right? And. Nice! Excellent. That was excellent. And then we have another time. Beautiful! Again. What's going to happen? Something exciting is coming along. Don't rush. Excellent. Stay on top of it. That's excellent. And in. Oh, it's on. In. That's it. That's it. And. Tenore. And. Da, 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 and da. That's it. Good. Nice. Coda. fantastic. It's 100%. So to me, this is like a perfect progression for the concert, because we start off with simplicity with the Schubert and sort of the phrases and these beautiful normal structures, and the Mozart makes it super complicated. And the Mozart's like, well, I'm going to do all of that, and I'm going to put it in a fugue, and I'm going to divide the chorus into like 2 big choirs, right? That all have fugues themselves. And so it's really cool that we end with the most complicated thing that shows off everything that we've been doing over the semester. Now, I think that this progression of what we did in today's rehearsal is going to mimic what happens during the chorus concert. The Mozart's going to be the last, and the hardest thing is actually the last thing. However, when you stand and we're performing it, all of a sudden everything comes together really cleanly, really, really nicely. I've mentioned this before, but there are certain parts of the Mozart where you're doubled with the orchestra, and there are certain parts that are not, right? We know we've rehearsed a lot of the portions where I say, listen, the orchestra is not going to double you, and it's going to feel terrible, but we're just going to rehearse it. This is one of those things where all the work that you put in now is going to be paid off quite a bit, because when we get to the end, the orchestra actually is playing with you, so it's this big exuberant thing to the end. And it's not going to be as difficult as it feels right now, when it feels very separate where you guys are and whatnot. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Like I said last week, we were going to spend the majority of the time literally just on these last movements, because what normally happens in rehearsals, we start at the beginning and we don't have as much time at the end. Not next week, 2 weeks from now, is our catch-up. And our catch-up is to run through everything and then focus on what we do need to do mentally. We're going to be working on the Schubert and then the Mozart in that order again. But after that, we're going to have only orchestra rehearsals. So it is a new start to the year. It's going to be a sprint. But I think that things are in super good shape. My request would be to make sure, even if you don't sing through it, that you go through mentally some of the movements and say, oh yeah, for me, I need to look at these notes, or for me, I need to take a breath in time for here, so that we don't have to redo parts of the rehearsal process on the Monday when we come back. But that's just more of a reminder of how we sing together, and getting back into, after you have your holiday cookies and everything. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. But that being said, have happy holidays. Thank you, Paul. I'll see you later. Thank you, everybody. We will see you. I will see you in the new year. That's crazy. It'll be nice.